hope everybody's having a good Thursday night. This is Jason Akers with Akers Pest Control. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday. You're all ready for the live stream tonight. How is everybody doing tonight? Teresa says, everybody hit the like button. I agree. Or the dislike button. If you don't like me, you don't have to hit the thumbs up. You can dislike me if you want. It doesn't hurt my feelings. So, what is everybody up to tonight? What is everybody's plans for the weekend? I've got some sinus issues going on because it's that time of year. Everybody gets the pollen. Car is yellow. By the end of the day that I wash it, it's coated in pollen. And so is the inside of my nostrils. Nasty. I hate that stuff. It's awful. When I was young, I never had a problem with pollen. But now that I've gotten old, stuff bothers me that never ever used to bother me before. So, if you dislike the stream of the bed, don't wish bed bugs on people. You should not wish bed bugs on people. Bed bugs need to be eradicated. That's what we talk about, right? That's what we talk about. So, let's see what's up with my bed bug friend, Amber Heard. So, I was under the impression that she was not mature, but I was wrong. Because there are eggs in there. It's really hard to get my camera to focus, but after she bit me a few weeks ago, she actually laid 2 eggs inside this container. They have not hatched, but they are in there. It's also cooler in my basement. It's not warm like the rest of the house because this is I do my live stream in a basement. I am a basement dweller, so. Teresa. No. I'm not going to bring that up. But Rory is fine. Rory is doing good. He is doing very well. Thank you for asking. Oh, goodness. Can the babies get through? Can they get through? I don't believe so. I think that was the problem and why she could not bite me before, because the mesh is too fine. Even though she was crawling across the surface of it, she could not actually bite me through it because I have the wrong screen. There are 2 screens that come with these. One is for the eggs so that the babies cannot escape, and one is for adults and they can bite you through it. And I believe I have the wrong screen in place. I think I have the one for the babies, but they should theoretically hatch. They should hatch. So we shall see. By the way, she is healthy. She is perfectly well and healthy. There she is right there. Like I said, it does never, ever, ever wants to focus. Come on. Focus. It doesn't ever want to focus on her. The camera does not like Amber. So. But everybody hates bed bugs. Nobody likes bed bugs. I don't like bed bugs. I despise bed bugs. So, they cause a lot of people pain and anguish, and I like to teach people how to kill them. So I can't get too attached. If I were attached, I would think I would be pretty depressed as many bugs as I kill on a daily basis. So from spiders to ants to crickets to bed bugs and roaches and silverfish and millipedes and centipedes and all kinds of bugs, I would be a very depressed individual. That is for sure. So, let me see if I can get this thing working. Do 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 do. Let's see. Do 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 do. That's a catchy song. So, how's everybody doing? Let's do some self-shameless promotion. Since it's the first few minutes, and usually we don't get a lot of viewers in here until about 20 minutes in, I have a course on bedbugs. The link is in the description, where I teach people how to kill bedbugs. It's a best-selling bedbug course on Udemy, 4.4 ratings, 76 votes, 274 students, $15 if you're interested. It's on sale. Usually it's always on sale, but if you're interested in learning how to kill bedbugs, for all the people that are in my chat that have purchased the course, I appreciate it. It helps me out. But you can look at the course to see the kind of content that's in it just right there. But if you're interested in learning how to kill bedbugs, then, take a look at it, see what you think. It's cheap, very affordable, and it's got about 40 minutes worth of information on how to kill bedbugs. So it's from automobiles to how to mix chemicals and all kinds of different information. In fact, if there's anything on this course, if you have purchased this course and you were wondering why there isn't one thing or another thing or whatever, then I would really appreciate it if you would leave me a comment or ask me, and I will make a video and add it to the course, because I actually did that recently. If you go to preview this course, and I actually gave it for free so everybody could see it, and you scroll down here, you could see how to mix pesticides right here, and it will actually teach you how to mix chemicals. And so, because someone had asked, they said they wish they had had a video on there showing how to mix chemicals, so I added one. So, anyway, that's my course on bed bugs. I also have a link to my Amazon store, where I have all the pesticides that I talk about on all my shows. Typically, Crossfire is what everybody wonders about, but that is here. That is also in the description below. It's got from powder post beetles, fleas, bed bugs, cockroaches, carpet beetles, lice, ticks, bird bites, all kinds of good information, good products. You don't have to buy from Amazon. You can buy somewhere else, but if you buy from Amazon, I do get a 3% cut. That's like it's something like that, 3% something. They pay me. It's an affiliate. I'm an affiliate. So they do pay me a percentage of everything that I sell on my website. So that's enough about that. Let's talk about bugs. So let's see, what's going on here? How do I feel about Nuvan strips? Don't use them. They're poisonous. My landlord is finally sending an exterminator over to my neighbors tomorrow. We got into it, finally did a walkthrough and saw how bad it was. Good. There was a recent news article about a family suing, claiming that their family was eaten to death by bed bugs in... curious if you saw that. I did not see that, but that is absolutely something I would like to see. Let's see. In prison. Well, it's a good reason not to go to prison, isn't it? If you go to prison, you might get eat up by bed bugs. Those poor criminals. Poor rapists and murderers and horrible, awful people. Those poor criminals. Can you get them out of your car? Can you kill bed bugs that are in your car? Absolutely. I recommend Crossfire for the treatment of your car. In fact, there are videos on my YouTube channel teaching how to kill bed bugs. So if you go to my YouTube, youtube.com/green Akers PC. And there's my channel. Look, I'm live right now. You should subscribe so you catch me on my live streams. If you're catching this VOD after the live stream is over, there I am, right there. You should click this little button right here, subscribe, and if you want to support me, you can join and become a subscriber to the channel and get all kinds of perks. Like whenever I upload a video, you get to see it first. Whenever I have a special community tab that's only for members. I have a tab in Discord that's only for members that subscribe to, that actually join the channel. So if you want to support me that way, you can. But let's go over here and take a look at this video. So if you click here, and let's look for car. So I've got bed bugs in your car, what to do. And that's me dressed up like a hobbit, apparently. I've got how to treat a car for bed bugs in under a minute, right there. Very good video, both very good videos. So, you know, there are videos on my channel about treating an automobile. I actually, on my course, if you go here and you look at this course, let's see. It's got vehicle prep, but I can't actually show what the different videos are. Can I? Oh, here we go. Okay, there we go. This is what's on my actual course. You've got the introduction, which is basically just me introducing myself, talking about what the course is going to go over. I've got a living room inspection, how to inspect a living room treatment, how to treat a living room, a bedroom inspection, bedroom treatment, so how to treat both of those, miscellaneous areas to treat inside, like baseboards, windows, doors, and crown molding. I also go over vehicle bedbug prep, how to prep a car for bedbug treatment, and how to treat a car for bedbugs. And also I have a test if you want to try yourself and see how much of this stuff that you really caught on to after watching the videos. You can take a test. It's 10 questions, pretty easy to pass. And then if you pay attention, you'll pass it. And also how to mix crossfire, which I added. So it's not actually part of the test, but it is on there as far as descriptions on how to do this, how to do that, how to actually mix your chemicals. So if I'm promoting it big time, I am. I know I don't usually promote myself. I don't like to promote myself, but that's what I've got. So hope you had a good day. Hope your son is good. He is. I guess he is.
He had a rough day, didn't he?
He did have a rough day. He did have a rough day. I already told Discord. Somebody's already jumped in here and asked if I told the landlord. I told the customer what was for. So, and I did. I took care of my son. My son had his first firing today. He did his route, I did my route, and he lost a customer today and they fired him. And he was really upset about it, but I explained to him that the guy's a jerk and that, you know, if he wants to hire the competitor, let him hire a competitor, but, you know, he'll learn his lesson. Maybe. Some people never learn, but.
Well, I think some people see it from their perspective and they fail to see it from yours.
Right.
And, you know, we give him a hell of a deal and he didn't think it was good enough.
Papa Bear don't play. I'm not a Papa Bear, am I? I wouldn't say I'm a bear.
I don't know about that now.
I'm not even hairy. I mean, I got a little bit right here, but that's more like a scrotum. That's not really. I say that a lot because really that's what it's like. I can't grow no hair nowhere at all. I ain't got no hair nowhere. You know, usually I get paid to do that, just so you know. Y'all got that for free. We like Rory. He seems like a great kid. He is. He's a really good kid. Rory's great. He's I'm very, very fortunate to have such a wonderful son like Rory. So, but if anything, I'm like a naked mole rat, just like rabid, like a rabid naked mole rat. That's what I am. I'm mean, and I'm scary, but I'm really harmless. So. Oh, I can already tell by the way the stream is starting, this is going to be a weird night with the mood I'm in. Can you tell? Maybe a little bit. Oh, goodness me. I'm thirsty. Let's see. Have I had any questions? Let's go through Discord. I feel horrible. I'll tell you what. not like sick or anything like that. I mean, I got sinus issues because it's allergy season, but I have a problem where when I get busy, I hardly pay attention to Discord like at all. I'm there, and there's a link below if you're interested in joining the Discord. I recommend you do. But I have got several people asking questions and posting pictures, and if it wasn't for the people who are in the Discord to answer these questions, I don't know what I would do, honestly. So oh, I'm sleepy though. I've been working hard. That's one thing. So I've had my son. He's helped me for about 10 years working with me. And usually we split the work evenly. So we get to a customer's house and he'll do like the outside. I'll do the inside. He might come in and catch basement or something if I'm not done yet. And he helps get the job done. And now that we split the route, even though I'm doing less stops, I'm doing more work because now I'm doing not only the inside of the house, I'm also having to do the outside of the house too. And the outside around, if you're a pest control, you know, walking around, traversing outside a house is a lot harder than doing the inside. Even though you're just doing the exterior perimeter, you're going up hills and down hills and walking over rocks and dodging dog poop. And so, yeah, I'm sore. I am spoiled. I have been absolutely spoiled. But thank you, Cichlid. I meant to say something to you. Thank you for the 99 cent. Went and donated 99 cent with a sticker earlier. Oh yeah, Kristen's great. So I do have an exterminator that hangs out. She's from Georgia and she's in the chat all the time with Discord. And usually if I can't get to a question, she does. So I got that song in my head now. I can't get it out of my head. So, I need to turn on my telephone because it is off. And I want to get that on at the beginning of the show rather than waiting halfway through to say, hey, we can't call you. How long after I spray Crossfire can I return to the room, and how long after I spray the mattress and box spring can I make the bed? So you can return as soon as it's dry. You can make the bed as soon as it's dry. Basically, you shouldn't make your bed if you have wet pesticide on the bed. You wait till it dries, then you can make your bed. You can also re-enter the room once it's dry. At one time, I was learning window tinting, and with my kit, I got a sprayer brand Flowmaster model 1401 WB. Never used it. That's going to work for me. Okay. That's what somebody had mentioned to me, had texted me. Somebody asked, okay. I am having problems with the B&G sprayer ordered for Crossfire. I hope this will finally get rid of the bed bugs. I have been trying for 2 years. Wait a minute. Thanks. Oh, that's tonight. About an hour ago. I'm late. I'm telling you, I am very late tonight. I'm late. My kids were very late getting to bed. We had lasagna for dinner. It took forever to get it done and cooked and out of the oven. And so we were eating, actually stuffed shells, technically stuffed shells, not lasagna. But, let's see, can you wash and dry car foot mats. I need to treat my car. Yeah, you could do that. I'm having trouble. I mean, wash and dry. Now, in a washing machine, I would not recommend that. I would not recommend washing and drying your car mats in your car. You could take them to the car wash and wash them. You know, you take them and they got those little things where you could kind of attach them to these little clips and you could power spray them. That's what I would do. I wouldn't put them in my washer and dryer ever. I'm having trouble with carpet beetles in my truck. What is the best way to kill them? Pretty much any pesticide that kills beetles will kill carpet beetles. Let's see. Oh, let me situate it. My back is killing me. I am old. I am very old. Well, I'm not very old. I just feel very old because I'm sore. For those in the pest control field, the last week has been busy for me. Killing carpenter bees using a backpack flow zone sprayer. 4 gallons, wear me out. Not used to a backpack. I typically use a B&G sprayer. In fact, if a house is just a ranch, I still use a B&G sprayer for carpenter bees. But the flow zone, man, you can get 2.5 stories, 3 stories up with one of those things. They're pretty amazing. So let's see. I'll tell you what I do, all right, with beetles. Okay? So, and what most pest control companies will do. If you call a pest control company and you say, I have X bug, whether it's a beetle or an ant, well, ants are different, but like beetles, silverfish, centipedes, millipedes, whatever. A lot of times, a pest control business will just come in, sign you up for a general pest control plan, treat with a generic pesticide, whether it's temperate or alpine or whatever, that covers a wide swath of different types of bugs, okay? And that will typically cover beetles, carpet beetles and everything. When I do general pest control for people, I usually use Alpine WSG for my general pesticide. Inside, I use like Demon Max or something like that. Outside, usually a synthetic pyrethroid outside because they're more repellent. And that's the way that I treat my houses. Beetles die in the house. Now, I could look up the label. We could look up the label. Let's see. But the problem is that when you look up labels, sometimes they're very generic. So let's go to DIY Pest Control. Let's see if they got a label. Don't look like they have a label on here. SDS product label. There we go. No, that's that one. Let's get that. All right. Alpine WSG. Okay. Kills ants and then Asian lady beetles. All right. So there's a beetle that it kills. Asian lady beetles specifically, which is basically the orange ladybugs. If you have problems with those, it kills those. Kudzu bugs, bed bugs, brown marmorated stink bugs, centipedes, crickets, earwigs, fleas, German roaches, houseflies, millipedes, mosquitoes, paper wasps, pill bugs, sow bugs, spiders, and yellow jackets. Okay, so it kills these things. That's what it says. Now, carpet beetle is not on the label. Does that mean it won't kill carpet beetles? No. Beetles are on the label, specifically Asian lady beetles. It will kill beetles. But you don't go in treating the house just for beetles. You go in the house treating for spiders and ants and crickets and cockroaches and all kinds of bugs, and it will cover all those bugs. And it will cover bugs that are not listed on this label. Okay? You got to understand. Now, if you ask an exterminator to come in and specifically spray your house for carpet beetles, I say, no, we can't. We can't do that. Because technically, if your label is the law and you're following your label, well, carpet beetle's not on this label. I can't use this pesticide. Most pesticides are not that specific. They're not that specific on what they're dealing with. So what you do is you tell your customer, I could come in there and I could take care of all kinds of bugs. I could take care of spiders and ants and crickets and all kinds of different bugs, and that's what we do. It's covered under general pest control. and then you go in and you treat the house. And yes, you're using Alpine WSG, even though it's not labeled for carpet beetles specifically, but that doesn't mean it won't actually kill carpet beetles, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm always about the label is the law. Like, see, the label is the law. I'm a strict believer in that. But with the millions of bugs out there in the world, not every single specific bug will be listed on the label, even though the chemical will kill that bug. The most important thing about a pesticide label, and this is something I want to explain, and this is extremely important, is actually how to mix the chemical. All right, this is very important. So if you've got generic pest control, like dealing with, like I said, all these bugs up here that they list, it will tell you here. All right, so ants. If you're killing ants specifically, it says you put 10 grams to a gallon. You don't mix 20 grams. You don't mix 30 grams. You mix 10 grams. Same as fleas. Fleas, 10 grams to a gallon. They're very, very specific on how to mix the chemical. All right. They don't. Now, bed bugs right here is 30 grams to a gallon. So to kill bed bugs, you need to mix it stronger. House flies, 20 grams per gallon. Okay. So that's the important part. Carpenter ants, 20 grams per gallon. Now up here for just regular ants, just regular any day kind of ants, it's 10 grams per gallon. But if you're dealing with carpenter ants, specifically carpenter ants, it says you need to mix 20 grams per gallon. Also for paper wasp and yellow jackets, 30 grams per gallon. So this is where they kind of explain to you that if you're dealing with mosquitoes, anopheles, you got 20 grams per gallon. Ants, excluding Pharaoh, 10 grams per gallon. Fleas, 10 grams per gallon. So it's got all these different, actual ways that you're supposed to indoor and outdoor, how to mix it indoor and outdoor. That's what's the most important part. Now, it says here for beetles, Asian lady beetles, kudzu bugs, stink bugs, centipedes, stuff like that, you want to mix 30 grams per gallon. So that's a pretty strong mixture, and that's indoor and outdoor, not just inside, not just outside, both indoor and outdoor mixture. Make spot, crack, crevice treatment, void application, so it tells you exactly how to do it. So that's where you have to follow your label to discover, oh, well, this is how you mix it for this bug, this is how you mix it for that bug, this is how I should probably mix it. So okay, so laws, Kristen says, hey, laws do say you can treat off-labeled pests as long as the location sprayed is on the label. And that's correct. That's what I'm saying. And you use lower strength for that location. That's correct. Alpine WSG indoors and outdoors is sprayed 1x a month, 1 times a month, yeah. How long does it keep once mixed? About 16 days is what people are saying. I really don't know personally. I use it up before even a week. I don't ever keep Alpine in a B&G more than a day. I mixed a full tank yesterday. Used the entire tank by the end of the day. Had to mix a whole nother tank today. I used the whole thing up, had to mix more. So I really go through it. I really use a lot of Alpine. So I don't ever keep it more than a day. I never keep a chemical more than 24 hours. I just use it up. So personally, I don't know how long it'll keep mixed because I use it up. So I've never had luck with roach gel bait. Is there a roach bait that you use? I have the same problem with ant gel bait. Okay, so one difference, roach bait does matter because you want to use something that the roaches aren't resistant to. I've had good luck with Advion. I've had good luck with Vendetta. Those are the 2 baits that I use with roaches, and I rotate them. I don't use the same bait every month. Ants, bait is not extremely effective on ants. And the reason that is because ants will actually get smart to the bait that you use. So if you use a bait like, let's say, taro. All right, taro is a good example because a lot of people will buy this stuff at Walmart and different grocery stores and stuff sell it. It's basically a boric acid solution with sugar water. That's what it is. You can actually make taro at home yourself, and I actually have a video explaining how to make ant bait yourself. But the problem with boric acid is boric acid kills the ants. Okay, so that's great. That's what we want. But it kills them, and then the ants, the workers are like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. This is killing ants. Where did we get this? They go to wherever they picked up the bait. They mark the bait with pheromones that will warn the rest of the colony, hey, don't touch this. This is poison. This kills ants. Now, there are some baits that I have used that have worked really well on ants. Samari is a bait that I've used. I've had amazing results. Niban granule bait. That works really good. You can use it outside, different places in the yard. That stuff's really, really effective. That's about it. I don't have good results with any kind of baiting for ants, but Samari works really well. But you use it with pesticide application. You don't spray your bait. Just like you wouldn't want to spray pesticide on your food and then eat it, you don't want to spray pesticide on roach bait or ant bait and then expect the roach or the ant to eat it because it's been sprayed with bug spray. Don't do that. Keep your baits and your sprays separate. Don't spray the area that you use a bait, and don't bait the areas that you've used spray. Okay? That's very important. But with ants, baiting is just not as effective as just treating with a pesticide. Like Alpine WSG is very, very, very good pesticide for ants. But Advion is very, very good. I've had really good results with Advion. I've had better results with, like, not so much Advion, but Vendetta. I've had a lot of good results with Vendetta. So I use it a lot. I've had really, really good results with it. I've never had a problem with roaches taking the Vendetta. They love to eat it. You put it out next to roaches and they immediately go right to it. They eat it like you guys are like, ooh, that looks delicious. Let me just munch on that some. So, but I found that Advion bait works better for roaches, the roach bait itself. I've found that it worked a lot better maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But it doesn't work as good, but it still is effective. If I have problems with the roaches dying from Vendetta, I will switch up and use Advion, and Advion works. So trying to get comfortable. My back is sore. I am sore. Let's see if I can adjust this. Oh, there we go. I've kept my apartment from being overrun by them, but my neighbor next door is heavily infested, but the landlord finally has an exterminator coming tomorrow. Ugh. Hold on a minute. I'm going to be cool. For a minute there. There we go. Because when I want to talk into my mic, the brim of my hat likes to hit this little pop filter right here, and it's obnoxious. So, in cases where you're continuing to have problems with bed bugs, so let's say you bought Crossfire, and which, just for people that, just bear with me here, for people that don't know what Crossfire is, if you go to my Amazon page, which links in the description, and you go to the bed bug supplies right here, and it's got Crossfire right here, the number 3 on the list. All right, you click that, and that'll take you to Crossfire. All right, $51.42 a bottle. That's how much it is. This is what I use. If you were to pay me to come and treat your house for bed bugs, if you lived in Virginia, you know, where I work, and you needed me to come treat, that is exactly what I would use. That is Crossfire. Okay? If you've purchased Crossfire, you're having a problem getting rid of bed bugs. There's typically 2 reasons. 2 reasons you're having an issue. Well, it could be 3 reasons, but let's list the top 2. Usually, the main reason is because you're not mixing the chemical properly. And I want to go over a couple of things here today that I have never talked about, except I glazed over it a little bit last week. But let's go and use paint, as I'm a visual learner. So let's do a drawing with Jason. And let's go up here and let's take a look. All right. You're going to mix Crossfire. Okay, So let's say this is your jug, your B&G or your sprayer, whatever, your Roundup sprayer. Okay, there's that. And then let's get a pen and do, and then a sprayer. All right, so there's your sprayer, okay? Do you spray? All right, so one, you need to fill it half full of water. Okay, now this is 1 gallon. Okay, let's say your gallon mark is right here. There's your gallon mark. Okay, you mix it half full of water. Then you pour your crossfire in. Okay, your crossfire is 13 ounces, so it's only going to be a little bit down in here. Okay, there's your crossfire. You shake it up. I recommend shaking it up really well, and then you fill it the rest of the way up to a gallon with the rest of your water. Okay, now you've got a full tank of crossfire. But here's an even better way to mix crossfire. Okay, let's say you have a gallon jug. Okay, here's your gallon jug. Let's make it black like the other one. Okay, and there's your jug, and then here's your handle. Okay, bear with me. That's what you get. All right, there's your jug. So this is 1 gallon. You can only mix a gallon of liquid in this jug. So what you do is you take and you pour it half full of water. You add your 13 ounces of crossfire, like this, and then you mix it the rest of the way with water. Now what do? You put the lid on nice and tight, and you shake that thing like this. All right, like you're cheering on somebody really good. You shake it really, really, really good, like that. You shake it, and you shake it, and you shake it, and you shake it. That sounds like a really good song. Anyway, you shake it up really, really, really well, and then you take the contents of that jug and you pour it in your tank. That ensures that everything is very well mixed before you even add it to your spray tank. And you know you've got a gallon because the jug is only a gallon capacity. All right? Now, I will tell you that a lot of people will take that 13-ounce bottle of crossfire right there, and they will try to take half of that jug and pour it into a half a gallon of water. And they will try to cut it. And it's really not designed for that. It's really designed to mix 1 gallon. It's not made to mix a half a gallon. Now, I have talked on my channel before about how you might be able to mix 6.5 ounces or whatever. You may be able to get it to work well with a half gallon. People have done it. People have been successful at doing it. But most people I find that try to cut that and try to mix it half and half, it doesn't work. And then they end up frustrated because they don't understand why it won't work. That's number one. That's the number one reason that people have problems getting rid of bed bugs. There are other reasons. Number two, you don't know where they came from. Okay, you haven't actually deduced. You may think you know how you got them, but you may not actually know where they came from at all. You may be assuming they came from one place and they actually came from another. If you do not own a car, they can come from your automobile, but if you do not own a car, they could be coming from city transit, restaurants you frequent, movie theaters, friends' homes, if you go to visit anyone at all, family, school buses, Ubers, Lyft, anything like that, you can absolutely bring them into your house from these other locations. Imagine going out and calling an Uber, and the person who just rode in that Uber, because an Uber is basically a new age 2023 taxi cab, okay? Taxi cabs get bed bugs. Ubers get bed bugs because you don't know who was in that car before you. They could have had bed bugs on their clothes, put the bed bugs inside the cab, you get in it, they get on your clothes, you take them home. And this could be something you're doing habitually over and over and over again, not even realizing you're doing it because other people are using the Uber just like you are. So that's a way you can get them. During COVID, when everyone was on lockdown and everyone was in their house, people were still getting bed bugs. In fact, the amount of bed bug work that I did skyrocketed. I was doing more bed bug work when no one was leaving the house than I did before COVID or even after COVID now. I was doing way, way, way more bed bug work during COVID. Why is that? Because one thing that they did during COVID, Amazon, UPS, FedEx, Instacart, Uber Eats, all these different businesses sprung up all over the place where they were doing home delivery. Especially Instacart and different companies were doing home delivery of their goods and services because you couldn't go to the store. So in order for them to stay relevant and stay in business, they had to do delivery. And so who do they hire to do delivery? Anyone that will do the delivery. So if you work for one of these companies and you go and you get bed bugs in the trunk of your car, you go to Target, pick up someone's order, bring it to them, bring it home, drop it off at their house, and it's got bed bugs on a bag because you helped a friend move last weekend, you know, that's a very common way to get bed bugs. There was a story out of Amazon. I think it was Texas. I actually covered this on one of my earlier live streams. That there was a story out of Texas where the Amazon distribution center actually got infested with bed bugs. And that's the concern, is that these people are packing up these boxes. They're putting bed bugs in an Amazon box. They're shipping it to your house. You never leave the house. You never leave the house. All you do is get an order from online, and the order has bed bugs in it. It happens. People are getting bed bugs mail order for free, you know. So it's absolutely something that does happen. There's a lot of places that you don't realize bed bugs can come from. If you're continuing to have a dwindling bed bug problem, like maybe you just see one maybe every 3 or 4 days, maybe even 10, 15 days apart. Maybe you haven't had a bed bug in a month, but all of a sudden you see one again. It may not be bed bugs at all. There is the case that it could be bat bugs. Bats bring in parasites that are identical to bed bugs. The only way to tell them apart from a bed bug is with a microscope. Okay? I have pictures of bat bugs up close. In fact, if I have my microscope... Where's Rory, Alicia?
Taking a shower.
Oh, man. I need my bag. My work bag. I think it's upstairs. I have to go get it. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to be right back. Let me do an AFK. I'm not using the bathroom. Okay? I'm not using the bathroom. I'm just going to go get my microscope and show you guys a picture. I'm not using the bathroom. I have to say that because it's not my bathroom break time yet. But if anybody knows, if anybody hangs out with me, they know I have to use the bathroom all the time. But let me go AFK for a minute. I'm not using the bathroom. I'm really not using the bathroom at all, okay? I'm not using the bathroom. I'm turning this thing back on here. All right, there we go. I did, once I stood up, I did have to go pee, so I did go use the bathroom. But the thing is that I want to show you this little tool I have, and it helps me out a whole lot on the job, if I can find it. If I can find it. I think I have it in this one of these pockets. Where is it? Alpine aerosol, cross respirator. Oh yeah, see, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna use aerosols. Let's see. Maybe it's in one of my bags here. Got all these little bags. All this stuff. I carry all kinds of crap in my bag, I tell you. And I use it. I do use the stuff, but these, I want to show people a picture of a bat bug up close, because I do have a picture of one. I just took a picture. That's my business license. That's important. I gotta have that down here. It's supposed to be. I think it's in the console, Rory. I got one little internal pocket in here with a zipper. It's a workout just trying to dig through this stupid bag. I got a purse. Let's see here. I guess it's my bag. That's my work bag. Alright? Let me just show you what I'm going through. See, this is all my crap that I gotta dig through. I got a pocket right here. I got 2 pockets in the front. See? All these pockets and everything. And I can't find it. But I'll show you as soon as I find it. I'll show you what it looks like. I can't find it. I hope Rory can find it. But my famous saying is that Rory could not find his buttocks with his 2 hands behind his back, so we shall see if he can find it. We shall see. You know, I'm not going to respond to that joke. My favorite bed bug treatment tools: a bright flashlight, vacuum, and a metal nail kit. That's what Kristen says. Shaw says, how many times you gotta spray your sofa love seat and chase? I'm trying Crossfire for the first time. Usually once is all it takes, but I do recommend that people do it about 3 times, once every 30 days. If you don't have the experience like a trained professional like me would have, I would probably go at least once a month for 3 months. But that's the way I used to do all my bed bug treatments, is once a month for 3 months. Does it carry diseases? Bed bugs do not carry diseases. I tell you what, I got heartburn. So I keep myself...
They're not known for carrying diseases as of right now.
They're not known for carrying diseases. The reason bed bugs do not carry diseases is because they have a very unique type of saliva. So what they do when they bite you is the saliva has a what is it called when, Alicia, because you're the one that's in medical, what is it called when you put alcohol or something before you make an incision?
You have to sterilize?
Sterilize. That's the word. So bed bugs sterilize the wound when they bite it. And this kills bacteria. No, I want the microscope.
Oh.
This is a jeweler's lens. I did not want this. I told you this was happening. I knew this was going to happen. I should have run out to the car myself. But, yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to hear that. About what? If they carry diseases or not? I got to take this I got to take this. Because I'm old, and when I eat, and we had lasagna. And so because we had lasagna, I've got to eat something because I have heartburn. Or I'm going to start belching and burping and being gross. So I got to eat that. It's gross. It's like minty flavored chalk. I hate. That's so gross. Oh, gross, gross, gross. I'm going to show you, Kristen, what it looks like. They're amazing. I'm going to show you. So, first, got to take my phone. I might actually be able to pull the image up on my phone because it works with your phone. Oh, no. It's still on the camera itself. So I got to get that. Unless it's on this one. Wait a minute. Did I use my iPad? I might have used my iPad. Let's see. Ta-da. See, you know I'm pest control because if you look at my iPad background, it is a carpenter bee. I have a carpenter bee. Oh, this is my microscope. Let me show you this cool little toy I got. All right, this is a microscope. About the size of maybe 2-3 ink pens. See? It's pretty neat. Nifty. Pretty nifty. So let's see what I got here. Let me unplug this. As it was charging. And, oh, Finley was drawing. Isn't that beautiful? It's gorgeous, isn't it? That's Finley's art. So, let's see here. If I open... Where is the software? I do not know. There it is. Ah! It's here! It's here! It's amazing! It's here. Share. Let's see if I can share it. Can I save it? Save image. Perfect. Okay. Alright, and then... Let's do that. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. It's a beautiful picture. I'll show it to you. I'm going to show it to you. And we want to save that image. There we go. It's pretty neat. Pretty nifty. And I'll show you what the pictures look like if I could bring them both on iCloud. Let's see. Because I use iPhone. Because I'm hoity-toity. Actually, I use an iPhone because iPhones are more secure than Androids. And I know there's a big argument about that. People are like, nah, it's not true. No, it is true. It absolutely is true. From a brother-in-law that has done programming, it absolutely is true. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to try to pull up this picture for you guys and show you what a bat bug looks like. Photos. I'm weird. Oh! Yeah. I was going to talk about my anniversary. Should I talk about my anniversary? Let me tell you a story about my anniversary. So my wife married me, as crazy as it sounds, 10 years ago yesterday, the 19th of April, my wedding anniversary. And so let me give you a story. Let me tell you a story while this thing uploads, because it's taking forever to upload to this thing. I'm wondering if I can just send them to myself and show you what they look like. They should be up there already. It doesn't take that long to upload these pictures. But anyway, so let me tell you what happened. So last year, it was my anniversary, 9-year anniversary. I'm going to pick out flowers for my wife. Because I like to go pick out flowers. I'm one of those people where I like to go to the store. I like to check out all the flowers they have. And I like to pick out something special for my wife that I think is pretty that she would like. Because that's just how I am. All right? So around Easter, which Easter was just a few weeks ago, there are all kinds of beautiful flowers everywhere. Everybody's got pretty flowers. But when April 19th rolls around, nobody's got pretty flowers. And all the flowers look like garbage. And this is what I ran into last year. And I was like, oh crap, what am I going to do? I got to get my wife flowers. And I found a bouquet. I did find a bouquet, and I took to her. But she's like, Jason, you can order flowers in advance from the florist. And I was like, really? And she's like, yes, you can actually call in an order, and they will send it to me the day of your anniversary. You don't even have to remember. They'll remember it for you because they're getting paid. You're paying them to remember for you because you ain't got no mind. You can't remember on your own. And so I was like, well, I don't forget. It's just, I had to go get flowers, and I just thought I'd be able to get them on the way home from work because I always get flowers for my wife on the way home from work. So I ordered, my wife loves violet roses. She likes the real purple roses. And so I told them that I wanted red roses and purple roses mixed in together. With some like purple filler, and don't put in baby's breath because my wife don't like baby's breath. She just don't like it. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. She's always says, don't put that crap in there. I don't like it. And I told him that. She got this beautiful bouquet yesterday, and what do you think was in the bouquet? Baby's breath. All up in that thing. So that's what I've been messing with. So let's look at this picture. So this is a bed bug. Now this is what I took with this device right here. That picture. That's a bed bug. That's a bat bug. Sorry, not a bed bug. It's a bat bug. Bat. B-A-T. Bat bug. I took that picture with this device. That is a up-close picture of a bat bug. So, now, you see these hairs. This is the way I distinguish a bat from a bug from a bed bug. But you see these hairs. See how hairy that bug? That is a hairy, hairy bug. Very, very furry. It is a bat bug because it is so hairy. That's how you can tell. Now, I have a picture of a bed bug as well. Let's see if I can get that picture for you. That one is on this phone. Maybe it's on the other one. I have too many devices I gotta sift through all the time. There we go. Alright. Alright, let's do this. Share. And we'll save this file. Oops. Save image. Okay. There we go. And now I'm going to show you a picture of a bed bug. What a bed bug looks like. If I can get it up here. It takes a while to do this. Because I've got to upload the pictures to the cloud and all that mess. So. Let's see. All right. It's up already. Man, that was fast. A lot faster than the last one. All right, so this is a bed bug. See, now this isn't as up close as the other picture I took, but already, if you look at the hair is almost non-existent. They don't have whiskers, okay? And you compare that to this, that's very long. I mean, they even extend past their eye, because this right here, this is the eye, and they go way past the eye. But in the bed bug picture, if you look at that one, it's just, it's really short hair. So that's the way I tell the difference. That's how I could tell the difference between a bat bug and a bed bug. But I also have pictures of them. I took them myself. I took that picture of that bed bug right there. I took it with the same camera. So that's where, having a nice tool like this little camera, I don't even think I paid but like $30 for this. And it hooks to my iPhone, uses a Wi-Fi, so you can connect to it with a Wi-Fi camera. It's got a little Wi-Fi card in it that connects to your cell phone, and you can send the pictures directly to your cell phone with this camera. It's pretty nice, pretty cool thing. Can you show female and male and how you're, and now that you're there? I mean, it doesn't show. I mean, I don't have pictures of their body parts. I'm not, doing them kind of pictures. But male and female bed bugs can be shown. You can tell their body part, just by their body size. And a male is more long and slender, and a female is more roundish. That's how I knew Amber Heard here, my bed bug. That's how I knew this bed bug right here was a female, because she's round and flat. You see how she's rounded on the butt? That's a female. That's how you can tell that's a female.
Online you can show.
I mean, I can look up pictures of male and females online. I can do that.
Pretty easy to kind of tell apart.
Yeah, they're very easy to tell apart. So let's look it up. Let's look it up. Since someone wanted to see the pictures, so let's just go. So let's look at what someone else is taking pictures of. All right, bed bug, male and female. All right. You see how the male in this picture is long and thin, slender, and the female is short and fat? That's the difference. So you could tell. You could tell. Like, it's obvious if you look at just that drawing. And that's a drawing. That's a pretty good, accurate depiction. I mean, here's an actual picture of bed bug. This is a better drawing. But still, short and fat, long and skinny, males. So if you look at this right here, and you look at her again, you could tell she's short and fat. That's a short, fat bed bug. Well, you may not be able to see it now. It was a really good picture earlier, but now it doesn't want to focus. So that's how I knew she was a female. That's how I knew she had to have the name Amber Heard, because she's blood-sucking female. I've never heard of the bat bug. Does it behave like a bed bug? It does. So what happens with bat bugs is that what happens is bats. So bats will get in your attic. And that where I found this actual picture of this bat bug was actually somebody had bought a house about 2-3 weeks ago. And they started getting bit by what they thought were bed bugs. They have bites on them. The bat bugs absolutely were biting them up, chewing them up. And they found one in their bathroom, and so they saved it for me. And I looked at it under a microscope. I actually looked at it under this jeweler's lens first, and you can see the hairs with this, but it does make it easier to have that little microscope. And because I already thought it was a bat bug just from looking at it with a jeweler lens, but because of the detail, I was like, let me go ahead and get out my magnifier and take a look at it with that too. So I pulled out my microscope and I looked at it. No doubt in my mind it's a bat bug. So bats carry bat bugs with them. They're a parasite to bat bugs. If the bats are living in your attic, a lot of times they'll infest your attic with bat bugs, and the bat bugs will wander around and find their way into your house and start biting you. If they find you, they will bite you. They will bite humans. They have no problem breeding and feeding off of human blood. They can absolutely do that. But they're easier to kill. You can treat bat bugs with just about any pesticide will kill them. They don't develop resistance because they're always around bats. They're not around people. And the reason that bed bugs develop resistance to pesticides is because they live in and around people, and people buy chemicals and they use them to treat for bed bugs. And so generation after generation after generation of bed bug is constantly being exposed to different types of pesticides, so they develop resistance. But because bats don't spray chemicals, they don't spray pesticides, the bat bugs themselves don't develop resistance to pesticide. They're never around them, except the happenstance that they happen to get into an attic and come down into a house. They're just not. So they die. You spray for them, they're dead. Really easy to kill. A lot of times you'll find bat bugs on the outside of a house. You know, not so much on the inside, but on the outside. You'll find them around window sills and window casings and stuff around the outside of a house, or around an eave or overhang where bats might hang out, behind a shutter, places where bats like to live. So those are places you find bat bugs. And you don't necessarily find bat bugs on the bed either. You can find them in any place in the house. Like I said, they found theirs in a bathroom and they saved it for me. And I said, that's weird. Why was the bed bug in a bathroom? Now, the bathroom was beside the bedroom. It was a master suite. So you had the bed just feet away from the bathroom. So it's plausible that the people who lived there before had a bed bug issue. And because they had a bed bug issue and it was severe, the bed bugs wandered into the bathroom. I mean, that happens. I've seen that happen. But that's not what happened in this case. Show your bat bug video. I don't think I have a bat bug video. But I do have a bat video, a TikTok that I did. Let's see. Let's see if I've got a bat bug. I've got so many. I've got so many bat bug, bed bug, whatever videos. Let's take a look. Let's see. Bat bug. No, I do have a bat bug video. Let's see. It's been a while. Let's watch this one together. I'm not exactly sure what this is about because it's been 2 years.
People remember heartwarming ads.
Really?
So, bundle and save with Liberty Mutual.
Yes. Liberty Bibby.
Where does the poop go?
Where
Really?
does it go?
If
Really?
someone's backed up and constipated for 2-3 days or even a week,
I don't know.
where does it all?
All right,
Hey
we're not
everybody,
gonna watch that.
this is Jason Akers again with Green Akers Pest Control, and today I want to go over the differences between bat bugs and bed bugs.
Yeah?
So
Really?
you think you have bed bugs. You may not have bed bugs. They may look like bed bugs. They may bite you like bed bugs. They may
They
be
might.
causing you trouble,
Yeah.
just like bed bugs do.
Yeah.
But they're not actually bed bugs.
This guy knows what he's
So
talking
I'm going to
about.
show you a clip of me doing a bat exclusion.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was doing an exclusion for bats.
All right.
And here's where they've been getting into this louver vent here. And if we go up here and we look,
Look at that. What does that look like? What does that look like? Those look like bed bugs, don't they? But this is the outside of a house.
what is that we see? That is called a bat bug. Looks like a bed bug, doesn't it? Look at this.
Look at that. They're all over the wall, aren't they?
Okay, so
So there you go. Bat bugs. That's what they are. So I was actually doing an exclusion. So Candy asked, how did the bats get in there? So this is a job that I was actually on. So what this is this is hardware cloth. This is 1/4-inch hardware cloth. And what I was doing was I'm the one that put this up here. I was covering a louver vent where the bat bugs, the bats were actually going into this louver vent. And so this is after I had already sealed it. You know, it's obvious I was working on it. There's the screws holding it to the wall, you know, to keep the bats out. So the bats weren't in the attic anymore. The way you do this type of job is you have to do it after dark. You wait until all the bats leave. You get up on a ladder, typically 2-3 stories off the ground, and you get yourself a nice little screen and you put it over the window. Or the louver vent, whatever. That's the way I do it. But you'll see here, there's the bed bugs, right? I mean, I'm not even showing you. Look at that. I'm not even showing you. There we go. So you see the screen. It's actually a screened louver. You see, I actually screened over it to keep the bats out. But there they are. Look like bed bugs, but they're not. They're bat bugs. And you can't tell. From looking at that bug right there with the naked eye, you cannot tell that that is a bed bug or a bat bug or what it is. You can't tell. You just know it's from the bed bug family. But it's not a bed bug. It feeds on bats. And they're living all over the wall, all over where the bats were. So, and you know how I know? Because that's my house. I did that at my house. I actually did that job myself on my own house. So, yep. Anyway. Did you see on the news that poor man in jail that died? His cell was full of bed bugs. Oh, poor thing. I wonder why he was in jail. I don't have a lot of sympathy for criminals. Even if they're being killed by bed bugs, slowly, I don't have a lot of sympathy for criminals. There's a reason you shouldn't want to go to jail. You know, I've been to the jail in Appomattox, the old jail in Old Town Appomattox, the historical town of Appomattox. And, you know,
that's a place I would never want to go. Jail is much more cushy than it ever was before. So, I don't believe that bed bugs by themselves can kill a person. I think they can cause anemia, but they don't. I don't think they actually kill people. I don't really think that's possible. Now, if you get anemia, you're in prison, and somebody stabs you, you'll probably die. It won't take much to bleed to death when you have anemia. But, you know, there's lots of things that can kill a person in jail that have nothing to do with bed bugs at all. Because jail is not the best place to live. You know, it's not like, hey, I can't wait to go to prison. You know, most people don't say that. So.
Well, there's a lot of places that it's just really hard to control bed bugs. We
Right.
have high populations of people, so like jail, nursing
Hospitals.
homes, hospitals,
Schools. Schools are horrible
yes.
for bed bugs.
Daycares.
Daycare. Oh yeah, daycares get them.
It's going to be a fighting battle if they get into the system.
Right. And you know, truthfully, they don't do a lot in jails as far as like regular maintenance for things like bugs and rats and stuff like that. They really don't. They're not as advantageous to try to get rid of bugs and critters and pests as they are in like a school, which I don't think they really should be. I'm very hard on a criminal. I mean, I don't really look up to criminals. I think criminals are there for a reason. And I know there are cases where people get wrongly accused and they end up in jail for the wrong reasons, but most people are there because they belong there. And it should not, I don't think jail should be a place that you just can't wait to go to. It's like, I'm going to go and commit armed robbery so I can go to prison and get 3 hots and a cot. It's not supposed to be a pleasurable place to hang out. So, what do you think, when do you think they'll be eradicated, bed bugs and roaches? So the thing about bed bugs is they have worked on studies. Now, I've talked about this before in a couple, I think it was either last week or the week before, we talked about ivermectin. And so ivermectin is anti-parasitic. You take it for parasites. And it is, apparently bed bugs have a symbiote that lives within their body that helps them metabolize blood and turn it into vitamins and minerals. And this symbiote can be killed with ivermectin. But the way you have to kill it is you have to actually let the bug bite you while you have ivermectin in your bloodstream. The ivermectin kills the bed bug. Pretty amazing, but it works. And so they're actually still in the process of studying this now. I don't know if they'll ever release it because it's medicine for bed bugs. I don't know if they ever will, but I know people that would absolutely take it. People that have been, miserable fighting bed bugs for years that have no problem at all being the bait for them, knowing that they're going to die from every bite. I spent 8 hours in jail once for driving with a suspended license. I swear I didn't know I had an unpaid ticket. There was so much bleach, I don't think anything could survive in there. Well, that's one thing. A lot of people believe that bleach kills bugs and bleach kills roaches and bleach kills all kinds of things. Bleach kills infection. Bleach kills what is it? What is it? I can't think straight. I'm exhausted. Bleach doesn't kill bugs. I actually have a video that I did back about 3 years ago during my Myth May. So it sounds like I talk with a lisp. But if you go to my YouTube channel and you search Myth May, I have all these myths that I debunked. All right? And there is a bleach one that gets a lot of hate from people. But see all these myths, and I could have swore I did bleach. I thought I did. There's 32.
Do this with
32 different videos, so you can go to the playlist.
Maybe I did not do bleach.
I find that really amazing that you did not hit bleach.
Ah, we got a call. Hello, this is Jason with Green Acres Pest Control. How can I help you?
I was watching a YouTube video from you, and you said Thursdays you do questions and things.
I'm doing it right now.
Are you? Okay.
You're live.
Well, I texted. I sent some texts, some questions, because, dealing with bed bugs, and we tried the hot shot foggers, and of course they did not work like you said. And I was kind of curious as to how long do I have to wait before I can get back into a room? Is it a quick drying?
Crossfire dries, usually I tell people to be out of the house for 2 to 4 hours. When I infested my own house with bed bugs. This has been about 1.5 years ago. It's the only time I've ever done it in 24 years, but I did it. And the way that so I treated my house, we left, we went to the mall, and we were at the mall for maybe an hour, hour and a half, came home, everything was already dry. So it really depends on humidity. It depends on, there are things that you can do like ceiling fans and stuff like that that will help dry the surfaces quicker. And you can, you just go in. Once it's dry, you make your bed, you sleep in your bed that night. It won't hurt you. You can absolutely use the furniture. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to cause you any kind of cancers or anything like that. It just kills bugs.
Yeah. I saw that. I watched a lot of your YouTube things. There's a bunch of them on YouTube, and so I watched a bunch of them. But,
I know. I got a lot of time on my hands, don't I?
Yeah, I'm not real good with computers, so, going online and looking up all your stuff that you said you can go online and look at, I'm not good with computers. So then I have this sprayer that I got when I was window tinting, and I never used it. And I know you said plastic ones aren't that great, but my husband's on disability, and I'm on leave of absence for a medical condition that makes me like vertigo, where you can't stand for long periods of time, and there's a lot of work involved in doing all this stuff. But it is a sprayer, and it's a Flowmaster, and it's got the nozzle and all that stuff. And I know you say to use a better one, but we're financially strapped right now to go and spend $400.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. The Flowmaster is not a bad sprayer, though. It is a gallon, though, right?
Yes, it is. It is exactly a gallon.
Yeah, well,
and I watched your video on how to mix. So I know how to mix, pour some water. Actually, I was doing window tinting, and when I ordered my stuff for window tinting, the blades and the spray, it came with the kit, and I never used it. So, and that was years ago. So, and like I said, I never used it, and we never used it for anything else, around the house. So, it's like you said, you shouldn't mix Flowmaster with anything else because it'll affect the ingredients.
Crossfire.
So I did watch that video.
Right.
Crossfire, I'm sorry. But you said that you can't put the Crossfire on if you've used, like I said, I used the Hot Shot Fogger.
Right. So
how long do I have to wait after I use that Hot Shot Fogger before I can use the Crossfire? Because I've ordered it. It's here.
Is it an actual Hot Shot, the purple box with the picture of the bed bug on the front?
Yes.
Okay, so let me look that up, and I will tell you. So if you look at the active ingredient in that, it's perethrins. You'll probably find you could probably use it right away because perethrins don't last at all. So you won't have any kind of residual hardly at all. There are a couple of things in there that do have a little bit of residue, but let's see, it's got, perethrins is probably the least thing. It's got pibromyl butoxide, which is in Crossfire.
Okay.
I would probably, when did you use the Hot Shot in your house?
Oh, gosh. one day last week. I want to say Thursday of last.
Do you have the
Last week.
Crossfire now?
I
Or are you
do. I
waiting
did
on it?
order it, and it came today.
Okay.
So the 13.
You could probably use it now. The reason that I don't recommend using foggers is because for one, it doesn't go where it needs to. Foggers,
Right.
the thing is the spray needs to be put in the cracks, in the crevices, in the places that bed bugs hide. And if you take a fogger and you set it off in the room, even if you set 3 or 4 foggers off in one little small room, the probability of that chemical actually going into a crack, it typically just splatters on the walls and on the ceiling and on the floor, and that's the only place it sits, and it doesn't actually go where the bed bugs live. But you treating with a sprayer, you can flip the mattress and the box spring up. You can treat around the edges and the corners and the tufts and the creases and the folds and places that a fogger is not going to get. And also foggers, because they're an aerosol, aerosols don't last. They don't last near as long as something like an actual mixed pesticide like Crossfire. Crossfire, even on the label, it claims 28 days, but the sales reps that sell it, they actually claim 6 months residue on Crossfire. And so it will absolutely outlive a fogger in a heartbeat. And so you could probably just use it now if you wanted to.
Should I do the whole house, even though I think it's been strictly to my room and
Oh, absolutely,
room?
I would do the whole house. I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
So I did a bed bug job yesterday, and a competitor came out, and they told the woman that we could just do 2 bedrooms. Of course, they were giving her what they call the discounted rate by doing only 2 rooms. When I went in her house and I started taking the furniture apart, I told her I wouldn't do the house unless I could do the whole house. I said I needed to do every room. It was 3 bedrooms and a living room, and of course the kitchen, bathrooms, all those places too. I treated at least in the baseboards in every room. And I turned over the bed that they weren't even going to get treated, and I found bed bugs all over the bed, inside the box spring, but the woman that was sleeping on the bed wasn't getting bug bites, so she just assumed she didn't have them in the bedroom. Well, what it was is she wasn't reacting from the bug bites. She was getting bit. She just wasn't having a reaction. I don't react from bed bug bites. I don't feel them bite me. I don't have an itchy spot. I've let one bite me live a couple weeks ago. I monitored the bite for a week and a half, and never once did I get one little bump or one little itchy spot at all. They don't bother me. But other people, I mean, they'll get so bad that they have to put ice pack on them because they hurt so bad. But it doesn't affect me that way. And so I went in there, I took the sofa apart. I flipped the sofa upside down. I found bed bugs living in the sofa. And like I said, the other company wasn't even going to do that. And so it was very disturbing to me to go in there and say, this is why you treat the whole house. This is a very good example why you should treat everything. Because just because you don't think they're there doesn't mean they aren't there. Because the likeliness that you've tracked them through the house or they have followed you through the house is pretty highly likely.
Well, I have like a side-to-side split level, so, you come in the main floor and then you go upstairs and there's bedrooms and then you turn and you go up to a dormer. Well, the dormer is where my son stays. And I happened to go up into his room, and he didn't tell us he had bed bugs.
Right.
And so I saw the sheets on his bed, and they were black marks all over the sheet. So I knew he had a huge infestation.
Right.
Because he had a bottle of bed bug spray. So I knew that his bed was bad. So we just took his pillows, those sheets. We went and bought plastic like you use for drop cloths, kind of for, I don't know. He got it. My husband, and we wrapped the mattress and the box springs and taped it with the plastic and took all of that out of the house. We didn't even want to try to spray.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. If it was that nasty, I don't blame you at all.
Yeah. So, even while they were doing that, they were seeing the bugs, crawling across the dresser and on a chair and here and there. So they weren't even sprayed yet, and they could see him crawling around
Right.
other places other than the bed. And he's got nightstands on each side. And I saw where you said to take the drawers out and spray inside, and because
Right.
his room's worse. My room, I've been up all night long, and I see him and I catch him and I throw him in the toilet and I flush him. I don't even, I've been staying up all night long, but luckily I'm on a leave of absence, which, I don't have to go to a job right now, but I've been catching them, and we did the fogger, and I didn't stay up all night the first night after we fogged, but the second night I already started seeing the big ones,
Right,
coming out,
adults.
and then just a few of the teeny tiny ones. I'm not even getting like a bunch. They're just a few at a time, but they're just never stopping. I keep thinking if I'm catching them and getting rid of them, but you don't know what the eggs are, the situation with the eggs, but I do feel them crawling on me.
You can
I'm-
find the
'cause I'm up.
eggs. You can find them, little clusters of them. You can see them.
And and like I said, my husband's disabled, so he's got back issues. I'm on a disability for vertigo, which doesn't allow me to do a lot of things. I can't sit or stand for more than 30
vertigo's
minutes
awful.
at a time.
I had vertigo with COVID. It was miserable.
Yeah, and I've been dealing with this issue for 3 years, and I still can't really get a doctor to really diagnose me. Right now, I'm on my second neurological doctor, and he's prescribed me vitamin B2, riboflavin, and magnesium to see if it will help my condition.
Well, hopefully it will.
But I'm almost, the 24th of this month will be my 90 days, which is what they said would be 90 days before I would even start feeling any better. And I'm still the same way I was then. So I'm just concerned about, because you want me to rip the back of the box springs off, and you want me to take those little plastic corner pieces off and
It's a lot
spray
of work.
all up in.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, that's what I tell people when I do a bed bug job, and I tell them how much it costs to do one, and they're like, that's expensive. And I said, well, I'm rearranging your whole house. I mean, it is a job. It is a very hard job. Like that one, the bed bug job I did yesterday, where I went in, it was a double, a twin. It was 2 doubles and a twin. Actually, one of them was a queen size bed, a double bed, and a twin bed. And of course, the sofas and all that, they were heavy. And I did it alone, because normally my son will go help me. He's 18. He helps me. But he was on his own route yesterday, so I had to do it by myself. And that is just I am sore. I tell you what, I am so sore. But it is a job. And now typically what I do is I don't remove the felt every time, because sometimes the customer doesn't want you to. Sometimes they're like, well, is there any way you can just make a hole and not have to take the whole thing off? And so I do that sometimes. I can just make a hole in the felt instead of having to take the whole thing off of there. So you don't always have to take it all off, but you definitely want to treat around all the staples where it staples to the bottom of the mattress. That's very important. And those corner guards, I do usually just take those things off of there, but you can treat down inside them without actually having to remove them.
Right. So I was just concerned, because I did see the video where it said if you've used, a treatment that you get from your stores,
Right.
and I did. All we've done is a fogger, because we don't have the energy to
Oh yeah.
do all that.
Oh, I know. It's hard. It is really hard. I tell people, I said, you're not paying for the chemical. You're paying for the labor. It's all labor. It's extreme. And that's why I think a lot of these companies are doing heat treatments too, is because all they have to do
I agree with you.
all they have to do is drag a hose through the house and hook up a heat machine. That's it. And they don't have to worry about turning over furniture. A lot of these companies don't. They're supposed to. They're supposed to turn the mattresses up. They're supposed to turn the box springs up so they get even heat all the way around. They don't. They usually don't. A lot of times they just leave the furniture in there and point the heat machines underneath the bed and then say, well, that's that. But that's not really the proper way to do it. You still have to do the heavy lifting, but most of these companies don't. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they don't want to pay workman's comp when someone has to check out of work for a week because they get a bad back or they get a backache from doing bed bug work, because it's not easy. Even with 2 people, you still work yourself to death. I mean, me and my son, we go in, we do a bed bug job, and we are sweating like pigs by the time we leave. and it could be full blowing air conditioner in there, but the kind of work you're doing, you tear your body up.
All right. Now, since I have a split level, like I say, we don't hang out in any other rooms but our bedrooms.
Okay.
So we've not been sitting on any of the sofas or any of that kind of stuff. So I'm just thinking I just need to spray the baseboards in those rooms and that's it. Because we don't even sit in the dining room to eat. We eat in our rooms. My husband sits on a stool and eats in the kitchen, so we're not using the furniture to sit on. And I'm just feeling like all I have to do in those rooms is just, run around and do the perimeter of the room, not the furniture and all that. The only furniture I'm going to have to deal with is, my husband's room. There's not a lot of furniture, but he does have a fish tank in that room. And then the other room, there's a corner fish tank.
Avoid fish tanks.
In that room.
Don't treat around a fish tank
Huh?
at all. Don't treat around a fish tank at all. You'll kill your fish.
What about one fish tank is a corner, so don't do those two walls, or don't go
treat
back
near the fish tank or above it, because you have to either remove the fish tank from the room, cover the fish tank, and unplug all of the apparatus until after the chemical is dry. Because if you treat a room with a fish tank in it and that chemical drifts down into that tank, you will kill your fish. Did you not kill the fish when you fogged it? Because the fogger will kill fish.
We didn't do the rooms that have foggers because there's not been anybody. The room that has the corner fish tank, nobody stays in that room. It's just a spare room for guests. So nobody stays in that room. So, and then my husband's room, he's been in his room, but he's not gotten any bed bugs. He's not been getting any bugs biting him, because he's the food source. So if there was any in his room, and this has been going on for a month now or so.
Right.
So if he's been...
Well, I don't know. If your son's room's as full as it is, they're probably all over the house, because that's a pretty extensive infestation. If they're all over, finding them on the dressers and the nightstands and the beds, and that's pretty bad. That's a pretty severe infestation. He's probably tracking them all through the house whenever he leaves his bedroom.
Well, he just goes from the front door up the stairs to his room. Okay. And the bathroom is right down the stairs in the bathroom.
Well,
so he doesn't...
The way that I do bed bugs, when I treat bed bugs, and the way that I'm the most successful is I do as much as I can. I do cover fish tanks. I don't treat around fish tanks. I have treated around fish tanks before for like cockroaches, usually like a gel bait or something like that. But the bed bugs are not going to be attracted to the fish, so you can avoid areas with fish tanks. I just don't even treat around them at all. But you should absolutely cover the fish tank, because I don't want you to accidentally kill your fish, and you don't want to do that either. And so I would treat around just the baseboards where you could. But if you don't have bed bugs in the room with the fish tanks, then just avoid those rooms completely if you don't have the ability to remove them or, cover them. But you can cover them. You could just cover the fish tank, and then you can unplug them so the bubbler... Because one thing about a fish tank is they have that recirculator that pushes the air down into the tank. And if you treat around one of those by mistake, it can suck the chemical up and push it into the water that way as well. So that's why you have to be very, very careful around fish tanks, because they absolutely will kill fish. That's one thing every pesticide says on every label. I don't know if Crossfire says it specifically, but I know every other label I've ever read always says... Cover fish tanks. Don't treat around fish tanks, because you'll kill fish.
Okay. All right.
I don't want you to kill your fish.
The room that's got the corner fish tank, since my son's room, we threw his mattress and box springs away, and we didn't want to bring another one in there until we knew we got rid of them.
Right.
He's been staying in that room.
Well, there is one thing, too, I wanted to mention to you, because you did say you were having problems with vertigo and disabled and stuff like that. And so if you have problems flipping sofas, so there have been issues before when I've gone into homes and you could not turn the sofa upside down just because of the way it was positioned, or the amount of furniture around it, or the room was just too small and you just could not do it. And so I've been in these situations. And so what I do in these situations is if I can remove the cushions, I do. I pull the cushions off, and I treat down in the cracks around where the cushions connect to the sofa, down around all the edges where the armrests connect to the back of the couch, all in all the creases. I do the best I can. I treat the cushions and everything too, so that hopefully if there are any bed bugs actually living inside the couch, everywhere they crawl out to get to you, if they're there, they have to crawl through a treated surface and they die. And that has worked. That has worked just fine. But if I can flip the couch, I do flip the couch.
Well, we
But you
don't
can't
stay
always
in the
do that.
room. Yeah, but we don't stay in the rooms that have the sofas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We just, like my son, when he comes home, he hangs out in his room. That's where his computer is. That's where he hangs out. He doesn't go and sit in the living room, the 2 living rooms, and neither
Right.
do I, and neither do my husband. We
Well,
don't sit on any of that.
They might be just, in the bedrooms, and that would be a lot easier for you because you wouldn't have to treat but maybe half of the house. But it doesn't
Right,
always
so
work
I'm
out
just-
that way.
Yeah, I'm still gonna, but I'm just thinking the living room and the family room that's on the next level down, because there's stairs to each level of the.
Well, you
of,
can
the
always
house.
treat what you can. And if you find that in 3 or 4 weeks you're still getting eat up with bed bugs, then maybe you can just go and do the whole house. So there may not be a reason to go to that extent to doing everything like I usually do. But also you got to think the way that I approach my business is if someone is paying me their money, I want to do as much as I possibly can for that person's dollar. And I just feel like that's the proper way. That's customer service. You give the customer as much as you possibly can. That's what you're supposed to do. At least that's how I feel. A lot of other businesses aren't that way anymore, but that's how I feel anyway. And so,
Right.
if you were to pay me to come in your house, I mean, you would expect me to do as much as I could because you're paying me. And so, but if you're doing it on your own, you may be able to get away with just doing the bedrooms. In fact, I've been in houses before where the bed bugs weren't that severe, and I probably could have gotten away with just treating 2, maybe 3 bedrooms in the house and not had to treat the whole house. But I still do, because why not? Because I'm already there.
Well, I still feel like I want to spray those rooms, the living room and the great room, even though we don't actually use those rooms and sit
Right.
on that furniture. I just want to
Right.
do the perimeter of the room. I'm not that concerned about actually doing the furniture because nobody sits there. So there's no food source for them, anyway.
Right. So
So
they're
I
not
just-
going to
but
be
I do
attracted
really-
to those rooms. But the only reason they would go to those rooms, so when the bed bugs go through traumatic reproduction, a lot of times the females will venture off into rooms even though people aren't in there to avoid the males to survive because they want to live. And so that's the only reason that I would worry, because your son has such a horrible infestation in his room. That's why.
His room is on the very top floor. So will they go downstairs?
Yeah.
Steps?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll go down. They'll go out down into other rooms. They do it all the time.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cross my fingers that, like I said, my husband, he's been in his room because he sleeps. We don't sleep together.
Right.
So he's in his room with the fish tank, and he's not seen any bed bugs.
Right.
And he checks, and even if he's not up all night checking like I do, he'd still see blood spots on his sheets
Right.
from, laying in the bed. And he just do I just do the edges where the
Just
wall
the
meets
edges.
the
But if
ceiling?
you see, I do just the edges. But if I go into a room and there's popcorn ceiling and you look straight up and you see spots where there's droppings on the ceiling, I'm going to spray that spot too. But you got to be real careful because you can make the popcorn stuff fall. And so typically I just stick to the crown unless I see a specific spot, and I might lightly miss that area. But, mostly I stick to the crown molding because they're still going to have to crawl there and crawl down the wall anyway.
Do I spray like the curtains? And I've got like blinds that are like honeycomb kind of blinds. Do I spray those?
Usually want to treat those areas, but you don't have to take those down and dry your blinds. You can't do that. You'd have to treat around them so that when the bed bugs crawl out of them, they die.
Okay.
Because they can't get
All
a
right,
blood meal from
'cause
a blind. The blinds don't bleed, so they would have to crawl out eventually to you, and when they do, they die.
Okay, but like I said, when I stay up all night, I'm checking my bed all the time, and they'll come out when you got your lamps on. You know, they don't hesitate with a
No, they don't
lamp
care.
on.
They don't care if it's light or dark. They're not
Yeah.
roaches.
Yeah.
All
so
they want is
I'm
for
just,
you to be sedentary and be still so they can come out and bite you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. I just mostly wanted to know, do I have to wait since I've done a fogger to use the crossfire?
I
Because you
wouldn't.
said if you put that on.
Foggers
So,
aren't very
and then-
effective for anything. They really are.
Right, and
I'm irritated they still even sell them to the public. Back in the day, when you didn't have a lot of options, foggers were one of the only choices you really had. But they still, even back
Right.
then, they didn't work well. I've never really relied on foggers ever. They're not very effective. Like, I had a machine that you just put the chemical in and it would make the fog itself. And fog just doesn't work. It's just never been a very good tool. I've used it on flea work. I've used it on really bad roach infested houses. But truthfully, foggers just aren't. I mean, nowadays with neonicotinoids and other types of pesticides, IGRs and stuff that they got that's on the market, foggers are just obsolete. They really are a waste of money.
Well, you say that all the stuff that they sell in the stores are obsolete because the bugs have acclimated to the chemical that's in it, so it doesn't even kill them anymore. They don't
Right.
walk through it.
Right.
To let it
That's
get
the
on
problem.
them.
Well, that's why Crossfire, that's why so many people have success with Crossfire, is because no one else is buying it. No one is going to Walmart and buying Crossfire on the shelf. They don't sell it. Nobody's going to Home Depot or Dollar General. And, you know, I go in these places. I go to Dollar General. I go to Kroger. I go to these, you know, mini markets and stuff. And I look to see what they're selling on the shelf. So I know what to avoid when I go to buy pesticides, because I know that if everyone else is buying that, the bugs have developed a resistance to it and it is not going to kill bugs. So I don't buy it. I buy what everyone else is not buying.
Yeah, and I watched where you said that you could get them in any way, how. And my son, he orders food to have it delivered to the house.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
Uber Eats and DoorDash, they're bad for bed bugs.
So
We got to think of the
we didn't
people
even
that
think.
work for those companies. I mean, it's just anybody. I can go get my DoorDash right now. My son was actually thinking of doing it as a way to make extra money on the side because he's got a car and he can go out, he can do it. I mean, he doesn't have bed bugs in his car, but anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. And anybody can have bed bugs no matter how rich or poor. They don't care what kind of money you make. All they care is that you have blood in your body and they can eat you and they can spread. That's how they spread, is by biting people. And so they need to bite you to spread.
Did we do our cars as well?
I would. I always do the cars.
So
You
okay,
can
'cause,
split it up into 2 days. So if you have to leave and go somewhere, then what you do is you treat your house the first day, and then you go somewhere, hang out for a couple hours, and then once it's dry, you come back, you treat your car, you just don't leave, you let it dry. But it'll dry faster in the car than the house, because I mean, where do you live? Do you live somewhere warm, or?
right now, I live in Olathe, Kansas. So
Oh, yeah, it's hot.
our weather. So it's
It's warm enough, but sometimes you can kill bed bugs in a car just by parking it in an empty parking lot. If you don't have a lot of shade, go park it somewhere where it's got direct sunlight all day long, and it will get so hot in the car it'll kill them. But not in the trunk. The trunk is a place you would still need to treat, but the passenger compartment you may not have to treat at all. But the bed bugs will absolutely go into the trunk, and the trunk will not get as hot as the rest of the car unless it's a hatchback.
okay. Yeah, we have we got a couple of Mustangs. My son has a Mustang. My husband has a Mustang, and then we've got a Hyundai Genesis, which my son's car and the Genesis sits outside.
Right.
But the other Mustang that's my husband's, that's usually in the garage.
But the problem with sitting the car outside, the heat has to maintain 125 degrees for a period of at least 4 to 8 hours. And the problem is the sun sets and the sun moves across the sky. And if it gets behind the house and then you've got a shade on the car, well, then the temperature is going to fall in the car. And so in order to maintain that constant temperature, it's got to be parked somewhere where it's not going to get any shade whatsoever for a period of about 8 hours. You know, from the time the sun comes up to the time the sun goes down, it needs to have direct sunlight. And that is pretty effective. But, you know, like I said, if it's a hatchback, it'll work really well throughout the whole car. But if it's got a trunk, the trunk will absolutely protect bed bugs, even in a hot day.
Okay, because we are only at 80-degree temperatures right now. Or
That's
less.
what we have here. That's hot enough, though. It gets really hot in the car, though. My car was about 125 degrees today, and it was 82 outside. It got really hot.
Okay.
But everywhere I park is in the sun. You know, I don't park in somebody's garage. I park in their driveway. So it's hot.
Yeah.
I actually, at the last 2 stops of the day, I left my car idling in the driveway because I'm like, it is so hot. And by the time I get back in the car, it is boiling hot. And I'm like, I would rather just pay the extra money for a couple of gallons of gas and keep the car running so it doesn't get so dang hot, because it was really hot today. But I'm a wimp.
Right.
I don't like it hot. I run AC.
Yeah, well,
cold.
when and you know, when women reach a certain age,
Yeah.
we don't like the heat either.
I think I must be going through menopause myself. That's my problem. Is I get so hot and I'll sweat bullets and it's miserable. I've always been that way though. I've always been real hot natured. I don't like heat. Like I said, in the wintertime, my son used to hate riding with me in the car because I run the air conditioning. I mean, I'm hot. I'm hot. I don't wear a jacket. I don't ever wear a coat. I've been 30s, 20 degrees, 30 degrees. I don't wear a coat. I just get too hot.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, you said that the chemical, once you mix it, it's only good for 24 hours?
Right. You need to use it within 24 hours.
Okay.
Because it turns into this gooey mess after that, and it's not worth using. So you need to use it up.
Okay. And you said just lightly, don't oversaturate, just kind of.
You wet, but don't soak.
Okay.
You just get it wet,
So
but
I'll
don't
see-
soak it. You don't want it to run off and pool in the floor. You don't want to cause so much moisture in your bed or your mattress or whatever that you're going to have mold grow. You want it to dry. You want to wet it so that it will dry and not soak in. It doesn't need to soak in.
And do we need to wear a mask?
No.
Just cover our hands and our skin with long sleeves?
So you don't even have to wear gloves per the label, but I always wear gloves no matter what kind of pesticide I use because I just feel like it's safer that way. I don't care if the label says not to wear gloves. It doesn't hurt to wear them. And so I wear gloves every time I spray a pesticide, and I always wear long sleeves and I always wear long pants because if it drifts down, like if you're spraying the crown or something like that, it drifts down. I just don't want stuff on me. It's pretty safe pesticide. You're not going to hurt yourself, but it's you know, I do wear long pants, and I think that's actually what the label calls for is long pants, long sleeve shirt, and I wear a hat all the time because I don't like it getting on my head either, and I try to shield my face, so I use a brim of a hat so it kind of keeps my face dry. Then when you're treating for bed bugs, usually you will get a little drift because you're treating the crown molding. So.
Well, I don't have crown molding. I just have sheetrock to the popcorn ceiling.
I still treat that area anyway. I always do because especially if you go in behind a customer that's used something like diatomaceous earth, a lot of times they'll chase the bed bugs up the wall. And so I like to treat the crown molding just in case.
Yeah, I don't. I saw what you said about. I was looking into that, and then I watched your video, and I thought, "Oh God, thank God I watched it." Because
yeah,
I was getting ready to look.
There are so many people that use that stuff, and it is so bad for your health. And I've got a lot of people that really call me down for it, but it's like I know people personally who have harmed themselves using it. And I just don't want other people to do the same thing to themselves. I mean, I don't care. I mean, like I said, I tell people exactly what does work. That's not the point. The point is I don't want you to get sick. That's why I try to teach people how to use pesticides the correct way so they can get rid of their bug problem, not poison themselves, and everybody's happy.
Yeah, I did see a couple crawl up the wall, and I caught them before they could, get anywhere.
Yeah, but see, they do that. They do try to retreat up the wall, and if it's one or two make it up there and you don't catch them, they'll hang out up there.
Yeah.
And they don't need a blood meal every day.
So I guess I'll have to take my curtains down and throw them in the dryer.
I would.
And I got to set it.
You a lot doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a setting that says sanitize, and it runs for like an hour and 5 minutes,
what
and
I
it's got
use.
the high.
That's what I use on my dryer. I use a sanitize setting because it gets really, really hot. It uses that extra little thing in there. The what is it? It gets it on the hottest setting that it can get, and it'll kill them. It'll kill them in there. You'll find them in the dryer lint trap if they're in there. You will find them because they'll die and they'll get sucked up in the lint trap.
Yeah, I've not seen any because, like I said, I'm up all night and I'm, checking my bed all the time, and I'm seeing them, and I'm killing the little teeny tiny ones. I'm killing those, but the bigger ones, I catch them and throw them in the toilet and flush them.
There are pictures of art that was depicting bed bugs from like the Renaissance period, of people going around picking them off their mattress with tweezers and a magnifying glass. And so that's just the way people used to do it before they had pesticides. They would go around, they would get up in the middle of the night, and they would go around their mattress with a magnifying glass and tweezers and pick the bugs manually off the bed and kill them. Pictures in the Renaissance.
So,
paintings depicting this stuff. It's crazy. They've been around forever.
and I explained to my son, too, I said, I wished you would have told us, son, because bed bugs aren't as easy as lice. Lice stays on your head, and you can wash your bedding and stuff.
Lice are really easy. They make me itch still talking about them, but lice are usually really easy to get rid of.
So, okay, well, I'm going to do my room and my son's room really good because I'm going to get inside the furniture in his room. My room is just a bed. I've got nightstands, but they're more like curio cabinets because I collect things.
Yeah.
So I'll have to spray inside those, I guess, and underneath because it has legs on it. So there's a gap, underneath it.
Right.
And I have a TV stand and a TV. I don't have a dresser in my room, but his room is a chest of drawers, a triple dresser, 2 nightstands. My room, I have a sleigh bed, but the material is...
The last time I treated a dresser was probably 8 years ago. I don't ever treat
well, his room was the worst, and his room's the one that's got all the furniture.
Now, your son's room, I probably would, just because you're finding them on tables and everything. I probably would do that. But most rooms don't require that.
Okay. And then also, but my bed is a leather sleigh bed. The headboard and the footboard has leather on it.
Right.
And it's peeling and flaking away, the leather is. So you've got like the underskin where the leather was attached. So should I just go ahead and spray all of that too? Because I'm sure that they can, and behind it, because it's got those black...
Yeah, you need to treat behind it, and you need to treat down the sides of where the wood attaches to the frame. You need to treat that because the sleigh bed has those two. Well, that's what makes it look like a sleigh. Is it's got those two edges, those decorative edges down the sides, and you need to treat around those really well. And of course, the bed frame itself, where the mattress and box springs sit on the bed, needs to be treated. And the foot. Because the sleigh it's on the foot too, so that needs to be treated and everything too.
Now, under my bed in my room, I have stereo or TV equipment, the surround sound. It's under the head of my. Do I need to do anything with that?
I wouldn't. I'd leave it right there. Just don't even mess with it.
Okay.
Bugs can't get a blood meal from a stereo or any kind of equipment. They're going to have to come out to bite you. And when they do, they'll crawl across the bed. The bed's treated, so they'll die. So.
All right, and then should I vacuum and like wipe down dust of my baseboards? Because you said don't let it sit on dust.
Yeah, well, it will make like a real weird gray smear because it gets dirty. Because dust is dirty, and so when the chemical gets into the dust, it gets like a gray color. And the idea is that the chemical itself will not stain. But if it mixes with something on a surface that does stain, then you'll have a stain. And that's why I usually go around. People will go around before I get there, and they'll get like a little duster, and they'll dust the baseboards and stuff like that. But that's not required. You don't have to do that. It's up to you.
Okay, but I'm going to have to move my furniture away from the wall so I can get to those baseboards that are,
I usually don't. I don't move furniture. Like if I go into a living room and there's a big entertainment center or something against the wall, I don't go and move it. I spray the best I can around it but I don't move it because Crossfire is non-repellent, so the bed bugs don't know it's there. I treat the couches and stuff, and bed bugs, if they are living behind the TV, in order to get to you, they got to crawl out. But I don't ever really move the furniture away from the wall. You don't have to with Crossfire. That's why I like it, because it doesn't require a lot of rearranging of the house, really. The worst part is flipping the beds. That's the worst part.
Okay. Yeah, and like I said, in my son's room, we just wrapped it in plastic and taped it shut, so when we drug it out of the house.
Oh yeah, I
wasn't
recommend
gonna
that.
have-
If they're that infested, you absolutely want to do that. That's the right.
And
That's
we
the
did,
right decision.
Yeah, because I saw that, I thought, oh God, if he's got him that bad on his sheets were just like covered with big long streaks of black
Oh yeah.
streaks all over the whole sheet.
Well, I'd
And it
like
was a
you to
white
call
sheet.
back in a couple weeks and let us know how you did, how things fare, because I would like to know your progress, if you don't mind.
No, I don't. Like I said, I'm on a leave of absence. I'm not even working right now, and and of course I've exhausted my pay. You only get paid for 6 months
Right.
at 50% pay, and so I've already, February was my last month. I got one little piddly check, and so we've already, like I said, we've already spent $150 some just foggers, the plastic, the tape, all that stuff, just to find out that shit ain't even gonna work.
Right.
And we fogged both rooms twice.
Oh yeah, and foggers aren't cheap. They're not cheap at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at
But it's
3
good.
right now on Lowe's website, $13 for just 3 of them, and 3 won't even do a house at all. You may have to buy 3-4 boxes of those to do an entire house. So and especially a split level house.
Right. And we only did the bedrooms, my room and my son's room. We only fogged those 2 rooms. We didn't fog the whole house.
Right.
Because, like I said, the other bedroom nobody stayed in.
Right.
And then my husband, he's not seen any in his room because, like you said, you'd see blood spots and what have you on the sheets if they were in his room. And he doesn't have any of that. And those 2 rooms have the fish tanks. But my son's room's the room that's got all of the furniture with clothing and stuff in it. So we're going to have to get all that stuff out of the drawers, because you want me to spray inside the drawers or just inside?
Well, I mean, if you want to treat that furniture, I would take the drawers out and treat inside the actual frame itself. Now, I don't always treat in the drawers, but the frame itself needs to be treated, because those are the places that bed bugs usually do frequent, is around the frame, the framing of the because that's where all of your wood joints meet together.
Okay. All right. So just but take everything out of the drawers and
yeah, I would until it dries, and then put stuff back. And if you're worried the bed bugs are in the clothes in the dresser, dry them. Don't worry about washing, because there's no reason to waste water if there's nothing in them and the clothes are clean. And if you find that there are bed bugs in a lint trap, then that's when I would be like, I might want to wash this because there were bed bugs in this. And then you can go through and wash it and dry it again. So.
Okay, well that helps a lot. So I got to spray. I got to leave the house for 4 hours, you think?
2 to 4 hours is what I tell people, until it's dry, whatever's longest.
Okay, and then I can come back and I can start putting the bed and stuff back together and putting some stuff on it. And,
yep, you'll get rid of your bed bugs.
And then now, when I spray the mattresses, am I just going around the perimeter of the edges? I'm not trying to saturate the whole top.
No, so what you do is you treat the seams. You treat the seams and the tufts of the mattress where the fabric folds on itself. That's pretty much it. Okay. Now, on the top of the mattress, a lot of times they'll have like a diagonal stitch design, and I have found that a lot of times the bed bugs will get in those diagonal stitches, so I always treat the top of the mattress too. But I don't treat it heavy. I just kind of broadcast just lightly over the top of the mattress here and there, along the seams particularly, and that's really it. You won't use a gallon. You won't use your whole gallon of Crossfire. You don't treat.
You said that it.
You don't treat the broadcast. You don't treat the whole floor. You don't treat all the walls. You don't treat the ceiling. You treat just cracks and crevices primarily, and the furniture. You should have leftover.
Right, and then what about inside closets?
Just around the baseboards where you can.
Okay, so I'd have to take all the stuff out of the.
Well, not,
The
I mean, just the
closet and-
baseboards where you can. So if you've got a lot of stuff piled up in the closet, just around the baseboards where you can. So maybe just around the door frame. If that's the closest
just around
you
the
can
door
get to
frame.
it. Yeah, if that's the closest you can get without having to take everything out of the closet. I don't ever empty closets. I don't ever require customers to empty closets. I might treat around, like sometimes you will find bed bugs on the track to like an accordion style door. You'll find bed bugs on those a lot of times. Or the sliding doors where they've got the little rollers on the top and the bottom. Sometimes you'll find bed bugs around those tracks, and I do treat around those. But that doesn't require you to take all the clothes out of the closet because you're just treating around the door.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that helps a lot. And the hinges
Yep, the hinges. Yep, absolutely.
on your regular doors. Okay.
Yep.
And then the windows. Am I just doing the
Just the
interior
frame.
part of the window?
Just around the frame,
The
where the trim,
the wood. Okay.
where the trim
All right.
attaches to the wall.
All right. And then the part where the curtain rods are.
Right, where they're
In the
attached
wall.
to the wall. Yep.
And then just a quick little pss, 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 and
Yep.
be done.
You
Don't
won't
like
use much at
sticking
all.
the-
Exactly. People will look at me when I'm treating a house and they're like, "It really doesn't take you much, does it?" And I'm like, "No, it really doesn't. It's about quality of service, not quantity of product. You know, just because I'm going in here hosing down the house with a fire hose doesn't mean I'm going to do the job justice. Like when you go in and you set off foggers and the chemical gets on everything. It gets on everything, but it didn't work. You know, just because it gets on everything doesn't mean it's going to work. It's really about where you target. You got to target the areas the bed bugs want to live in and target the areas the bed bugs are going to be attracted to. And that doesn't require you to go and spray chemical on everything. That's just a waste of pesticide, and it's also not safe for you.
Okay. All right. Well, this helps a lot because,
Yeah.
you know, with our health issues, we're just like, we don't have the energy.
Oh, you won't
know,
have the
but if
energy at
this-
all if you get anemic from bed bugs either. You got to kill those things, get rid of them.
Right. And so I'm just concerned. And luckily we've got 24 hours with this chemical. We don't
Right.
have to like be done in 2 hours. So if I get tired and I need to rest for a second,
Or if you're
Then,
getting ready
you know-
to pass out in the floor, that vertigo's miserable. I don't want you to be walking along and all of a sudden be like, "Whoa, I'm in the floor now," you know?
right. Yeah. Cause it's a foggy sensation
Oh, I
that makes
know.
my balance.
It's the weirdest
Yeah.
thing. It's the only time I've ever had vertigo was about a year and a half ago, and it was crazy. I couldn't even drive. I told my son, I said, "You gonna have to drive home," because I don't trust myself to drive even, because it's an outer body experience. That's the best way I can describe it. It's so odd. You don't feel like
Yeah,
yourself, definitely.
You don't, and nobody can. And all I've got is my doctors are thinking I have a vestibular migraine, and that's what's causing my vertigo stuff. And so there's like, I'm getting a vitamin and a mineral treatment to see if it'll help. I've done a vitamin D3 50,000 unit once a week pill
Mm-hmm.
back in 2020, which is around COVID time,
Yep.
and
Well, that's one of the
Didn't know
side
if I had
effects of
COVID.
COVID is vertigo. You could get vertigo from it, and that's what happened to me.
But
Is I
this is-
developed vertigo from COVID.
right, and I've been dealing with this since 2020.
Well,
I'm
I
still
still
not
have cases where my doctor claims it's like long COVID, where I have issues breathing and I have issues with vertigo. And they said it can happen from time to time. You'll just have those sensations come on you again as if you were just getting over COVID all over again. But they go away a lot quicker now. They don't last very long. Like if I get a vertigo case now, it usually doesn't last more than maybe a half hour to 45 minutes, and then it's over. But it's weird. It's a weird thing. So
Yeah, because the first time in 2020, I was off work for 3 months. I got a vitamin D treatment, and it worked. And then I started a new job at Walmart, the distribution centers, where you're standing, you're
Oh, yeah,
lifting,
that's a
you're
hard job.
bending, and you're spinning. And
Oh,
so I worked 6 weeks. I worked 6 weeks in 2021, and I went to a Balance Institute. I've had MRIs, I've had CAT scans, I've had 2 ear, nose, and throat doctors. I've had a neurologist. I had a pain management where they shoot that steroid injection because they did see on the MRI that I have a 4, 5, and 6 closed. And so I worked in 2022 for 6 months, and it all came back again. And in August, I've been off work since August, and I've been feeling this vertigo stuff since August. So I don't know that it's necessarily a COVID thing because, like you said, it would have dissipated after a few minutes.
Right.
This is all day for months, so. But anyway, I do appreciate you answering my call because I'm just glad that you did the YouTube thing because we would have just gone out and done diatomaceous earth because that's the next thing I was looking into. And you said, well, does it work? Probably, but you said it makes them crawl up the wall. It doesn't really.
Diatomaceous earth kills bugs. Okay. There are things in this world that will kill bugs that you should not use around yourself because they can be harmful to you. And you've got to think about your own health. Bed bugs don't carry diseases, but they do they'll make you psychotic. They'll make you itch and scratch and miserable. They can cause anemia. But they don't actually carry pathogens and diseases that transfer into humans. And so they're not really a health concern per se, but diatomaceous earth absolutely is. I mean, I've got doctors I work for. I have doctors I work for that say that their cases of silicosis from diatomaceous earth overexposure have tripled because of bed bugs, because the bed bugs are bad. And people go on YouTube and they see these videos that get millions of views where these people are saying, oh, well, you need to use this. This is the best thing. Look at how effective this is. So effective. And really, yes, it's effective. It kills bugs, but it also hurts you. It can cause COPD. It can cause asthma. It can cause all kinds of respiratory diseases. And it is not something you want to put in your house. When you put a dust in your house, dust stirs up in the air. Even just regular dust that will collect on furniture and stuff like that and TVs and things. That stuff will re-stir up into the air as you walk through the room and you will breathe it in. And it's not safe. That's why they tell you need to dust your house because people that have dust allergies or dust mites, stuff like that, you need to dust your house to get rid of that stuff. And diatomaceous earth will mix with all of that stuff and you will breathe it in. And that's where it's harmful. Now, people will take diatomaceous earth as like a herbal supplement. They'll orally, but your stomach tissue is not the same as your lung tissue, and you do not want silica type dust in your lungs. And people use Cemexa. Cemexa is similar to diatomaceous earth, except it's made from silica dust, and silica dust is a carcinogen. And you put that stuff in the air and you breathe that into your lungs, and why don't you just smoke some cigarettes? That's the thing. And people know that smoking is bad for your health because you're putting smoke into your lungs. But diatomaceous earth is not health for your lungs either. And that's what I build my channel around. I try to build my channel around teaching people how to kill bugs safely without hurting themselves or their pets or their family members. Because you don't want to hurt your family, you want to hurt the bugs.
Right. Hey, what do you think about you said you had a quick little 1-minute video. There's a new bed bug in town that you can't kill. What's up with that?
That was a really, really bad April Fool's joke that I...
Oh, okay.
I made a lot of people mad at me because I made an April Fool's joke that was very poor taste. But in all my defense, my wife helped come up with that one. So...
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well,
but
that's
you have
good
a
to
great
know.
night. I really appreciate your call.
All right. Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
I knew it. I knew it. People already joked, said, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was a April Fool's joke. Well, I'll tell you what. People on Discord knew it was an April Fool's joke before everybody else because I told everybody on Discord, and within the first hour, I had to come clean because I felt horrible. So I had to tell people, no, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. But I didn't tell people on YouTube until the next day because, I just upload it and forget about it. But so, But yeah, I don't recommend using dusts in your house, especially things like Semexa, because Semexa is silica dust, and silica dust is a carcinogen, and you do not want to breathe it into your lungs. Ever. So, if you don't use all the Crossfire, what do you do with the rest? Well, I've never had that problem, but there are programs locally in your state where you can, dispose of pesticides. You have to contact your local state Department of Agriculture. Let's hear that evil laugh again. Did I do an evil laugh, Alicia?
No.
I don't think I did an evil laugh.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know. I didn't do an evil laugh.
You have an evil laugh.
Do I?
Kids, yeah, the yeah.
That's not real. That's like a joke, though. That's not like a real evil laugh. I laugh all the time. I enjoy life. And so I laugh a lot. So. My school has bed bugs. How do I prevent? So, if your school has bed bugs, your best... Oh, man, that's rough. You could treat your bags, treat your backpacks, and your luggage and stuff like that you take back and forth to school. That's one way you can prevent bed bugs. You could treat the bottoms of your shoes and stuff, like on the cleats and stuff of your shoes. So if you accidentally step on one, you don't take it with you, it dies. That's usually what I recommend. With Crossfire, of course. You have to use Crossfire to do stuff like that. So, it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. I've streamed forever tonight. And so I am going to have to get off of here. We're going to have to call it a night. I've got a lot of videos in the works. Lots and lots of videos that I have recorded. I have not uploaded them yet because I still need to edit a lot of them. I've got 4 different videos on different sprayers that I recommend to include the B&G, and I compare them. I've got a video, lots of different stuff. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, and we'll see you next week. Of course, all of my socials are all in the description below. If you want to join the Discord and chat with me there, I'm always on Discord. I have a lot of people there that can kind of help you out if you have any other problems. So y'all have a real great night. I really appreciate it. And I will play some music, and we'll see you next week. Bye.